Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about top 5 reasons why MGTOW is the way to go. But first, let me just say thank you to everybody who's been stopping by, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, even donating. I really appreciate it. And if you're interested in content like this, go ahead and click the subscribe button, click on the bell symbol next to it, and accept the email notifications. That way you'll get updates whenever I release new videos. Now, let's talk about the top 5 reasons to go MGTOW. Number 5, it's a simple risk-reward analysis. Is the risk worth the reward? And in this day and age, for the man, where the risk is so great and the reward is so slight, you get to be the domestic house servant of some woman who holds you in complete contempt and denigrates and belittles you and degrades you all the time and likes to watch media that also does that. So if you disagree with her in any way, she'll just basically accuse you of being a misogynist, of being a Nazi. You can't have your own political views. You can't have your own. If she brought something to the table other than her emotional wants and needs and abuse, it's always been a bad deal for the man. What you're giving and what you're getting, it's not worth it. You can get the rewards that you want and give a lot less. So, and the risk is real. It's financial risk, it's legal risk, it's social risk. Some of you might hear that and think, oh, that doesn't matter. It matters. Okay, we're not playing this game as if it's physical combat. It's not. It is regarding people's reputation and status and standing within groups. That is the female game. If you become seriously involved with a woman, you risk her using that against you, and it can destroy you. The risk is not worth the reward. Moving on. Number 4 reason why a man should go MGTOW. Women don't respect men anymore. If she doesn't need anything that the man is bringing to the table, if the government can supply everything that the man used to supply, then she has no respect and no regard for the man. And I'll tell you a secret, to the 2 or 3 women that are watching this video, listening to this video. Men live on respect. I know you think that that's what motivates a man to get up in the morning. It's not the money. It's not the fear. It's the respect of the people that he admires. Now, you might as well know that the men don't admire women or society anymore. That's why they're going MGTOW. They know they're being cheated. Except for the very young men and the very desperate men, they know they're being cheated. The man is desperate because the woman undercuts his support in society. So he thinks he's completely alone. He is completely alone. And so every interaction that he has is this desperate attempt to please a gynocentric world. And that's just fine. You know what I mean? That sets the perfect example. He's the perfect simp in every moment. And he has 0 accomplishment. So he's really desperate. So the man is desperate and he wants the approval of the woman and society at large. And that's what they're using to control him. That's one of the things that they're using to control him. Men in Western society, white men essentially, but it's not exclusively white men. It's productive, hardworking men within a free system. These men who operate using logic and reason and critical thought, the men and the practices and principles that created Western civilization, the greatest civilization the world has ever known, that has brought more prosperity, more advancement to mankind than all the others combined. It's not even on the map. It's like a hockey stick, right? It's like the chart's going along. There's no progress. Thousands of years. And then suddenly it just skyrockets straight up. So there you go. It's the truth. So these attacks are an attack on that. So if you want to go back to the Dark Ages, to abject poverty the world over because your fifis have been hurt, well, that's the position that men are in today. So what are you doing? Why would you hang out there? Why would you get together with somebody like that? So that they could throw you a bone once in a while? So that they could give you some little bit of affection? So that they could pat you on the head? What are you going to do? You're going to wag your tail and lick their hand? Roll over on your back? That's what men do, okay? That's the simpish behavior. In the face of actual disrespect and disregard. Because the system has undercut the men. You understand this. Watch more Howard Dare videos. Moving on. Number 3. Given the environment, given the lack of reward, the amount of risk that you have to take, given the amount of contempt that you are held in as a man in this situation, why wouldn't you go your own way? Why wouldn't you say, oh, okay, well, they don't want me here. Like if you come to a company and you say, can I get a job here? And they say, no, we don't need anything that you have to offer. And you say, oh, I'll work for free. And they say, well, maybe if you pay us and we get to, disrespect you all day long, then maybe we'll let you hang out. Would you be like, oh boy, thanks? And I know as a young man, you're so desperate, to get ahead in the system, to get the approval, to get a little bit of affection, that's what they're inclined to do. This is why people are willing to work for free. Okay, I can understand an internship. Like if you were in a particular field, okay, and there was a really prestigious high-end company and they were offering, a small, a summer program or something like that, and you were well off otherwise. Oh yeah, absolutely. An internship in a situation like that. Take 6 weeks? Yeah, sure. That would be a wise investment. But in any other case, the men are beaten down. The men are belittled. The men are held in such low regard that when the woman says, oh yeah, I'll let you take me out to dinner and buy me a bunch of food, and then I'll be talking on my phone with my friends, belittling and insulting you, and maybe by the end of the evening, I'll develop enough affection for you to give you a little peck on the cheek. And then maybe, if you continue to act right and acquiesce and bow down, maybe I'll let you do it again. Why would you be anxious to get into that situation? Same with the job. Why wouldn't you say, well, I'll try my luck someplace else, right? Your lack of regard for me is not consistent with my estimation of my own value. So, goodbye. This is why you go your own way. This is walking away from a bad deal, okay? So the deal is becoming increasingly bad for the men. The situation is becoming increasingly toxic for the men. In the workplace, in the social settings, in the political sphere. You understand that as feminism and this type of pathological altruism and worshiping of feelings becomes more dominant in the West, it's shutting down the building of families, the building of sustainable institutions. You're being sold out. Local populations are being betrayed and sold out. Their values are being destroyed. The women are part of it. Resentment is a part of it. This appeal to emotions and then using group dynamics to enforce this will, that's part of it. This is not a new story. Watch more Howard Dare videos. I cover a lot of this in a lot of my videos. I appreciate everybody's support. I appreciate people listening to my videos, hanging out, commenting on my videos, sharing my videos. I appreciate all the donations. It's very hard to get by with a message, that's like a warning to men in a system that's trying to distract them so that it can exploit them. An entertainment message, a mainstream media message, it's a lot more popular. So I really appreciate the support, and I think you're doing the right thing. Moving on. Number 2 reason why a man should go MGTOW. What are you doing? This is the greatest age that we have ever lived in. There is no doubt about it. Okay, you can communicate around the world instantaneously. You have the reach that your ancestors just one generation ago could not even imagine. Inconceivable. The opportunities are limited only by your hard work. 5 years from now, you could be a Fortune 500 company. 5 years from now, you could reshape the future of human history in a positive way. We don't know how much you could accomplish in 5 years if you really put yourself to it. And it could be in any sphere that you wanted. So what are you doing? Why are you working for somebody, in some meaningless drudgery? Why would you do that to yourself? Okay, fine. You don't see any other opportunities yet. Why aren't you building yourself up so that you can take advantage of these opportunities that no other generation has ever had and will transform the world in a manner that we can't even imagine? And what we're essentially talking about is inexpensive mobile devices within people's hands that connect them to the internet. The internet today is what television was 50 years ago. It's actually much bigger than that. So what are you doing? Are your feelings hurt? Are you upset? Well, get over it. Take advantage of the world around you. Take advantage of the opportunities around you. Otherwise, 5 years' time, the guy next to you who's going to take this advice and he's going to be well on his way to a Fortune 500 company and a legacy that he can be proud of, okay? And you're just going to be sitting exactly where you were. The message is you go your own way. You have an opportunity. You can start your own company. Now, you have to learn. You have to build up. You have time, but you have to move in that direction. In other words, this is the time for all people to go their own way. You know that's the message, right? And you know that it's an authoritative corporate structure that's using human instincts, using governments. It's money controlling the governments. The government's controlling the people. And the people going along, okay? This is what I'm saying. Stop going along. Either you will or you won't. There's every reason that every individual would go their own way. Maybe a young person's not ready, they still need to learn. Maybe a person who is just working their way out of dependency doesn't have a whole lot of options or doesn't feel that they can take advantage of the situation. But that's the direction you need to point the ship in right now. And if you're not, the question is, what are you doing? You have to walk away from the bad deal. You have to walk away from a situation that's toxic where you don't get any respect. You have to look out after your own interests in a setting where you've been conditioned to beg for the approval of the world around you. Grow up. Go your own way. The opportunity is there because the ability to communicate around the world is there. Okay, this is just, one video. I have to move on. Watch more Howard Dare videos. Number one, best reason for anyone to go MGTOW is self-knowledge, self-awareness. Let's say you could get by in life working a job that's not very hard. Maybe you get free medical insurance, free living wage, but you never work hard. You never accomplish much. You never push yourself. You never discover your limits. You never overcome your limits. You never build anything meaningful, but you do get by. You never help anyone, including yourself. Would that be a good life? Would you be happy with that? If you would, you've been tricked. You're better than that. Only fear would persuade you to pursue such a limited course. Only the desperation that I mentioned in the previous steps, in the previous reasons, would compel a person to take that course. Now, if you're young, you're in a difficult situation, you're trying a whole lot of stuff, and and it's not working. I understand. Try something new. Tap in to what it is you care about and make it work. Put yourself into it. Get results. And when you find that thing, pursue that thing. Build on that thing. Improve. Part of this is recognizing your weaknesses, recognizing your failures. Look, some people can't admit their failures. They can't admit their mistakes. They don't get better. They're doing the same thing over and over again. Don't do that. You can do better than that. But it's going to take looking in at yourself, at things that you don't like, and then making the improvements. This is the challenge of your life. This is how you build yourself towards a good life. Unless you want to work for someone else, unless you want to be taken for granted, unless you want to be in a situation where you're giving everything and getting very little. So this is freedom and the responsibility that comes with it, and the self-examination and self-knowledge that is required to make progress. That's the challenge of your life, not pleasing someone else, not merely getting by day to day, although I understand that, sometimes that's what you got to do. Self-knowledge. The unexamined life is not worth living. The unexamined situation is not worth participating in. So I hope this helps. These are just some things to keep in mind. These are just my list currently, right? This is a constantly changing and updating list. And I encourage you to develop your own list. Make your own videos. Develop your own presence here online. Just do it. Point the ship in that direction. It doesn't have to be you. It can be an alter ego that you take on. It doesn't have to be your real name or anything like that. But I believe that you owe it to yourself to pursue every avenue of self-improvement. It's just a suggestion, just some advice. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. Let me know what you think about this. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, support the Howard Dare channel, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, everyone.